Yes, BMI still matters for lifters. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you're not following or subscribed, please do so. And if you'd be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I would appreciate that also. So let me get over into this. Some people are like, well, Jason, you're cutting now. Yeah. And one of the things that I have said with this is at my height, if I look at a BMI chart, 200 pounds is obese, right? Anything 200 plus. And even for me, people go, but you lift a lot of weight and you're at a healthy body fat. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't matter. In my case, I could go down and be really, really, really lean and only be overweight and not in the obese. So it's like for me, I made that personal decision that I'm going to cut to under 200 and I'm going to stay under there. I may go as low as like 185 even as I close in on 50. But the thing is, yes, I will obviously be extremely lean at those body weights, right? So for those curious where I'm at in this particular video with this footage, I'm 210 pounds in this footage. All right, we're 210 pounds. That puts me into obese, and it doesn't matter that I'm at a healthy body fat. We have to think about these things. And I think where the wiggle room is for lifters, really serious lifters, we can be in the overweight category, right? Because a lot of us are going to have gained 20, 25, 30 pounds of muscle over our lifting career, right? And that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly normal to have gained that much. So that's going to give us wiggle room. Yes, we're going to be way, 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 way more metabolically healthy. Muscle mass is generally healthy. But the point that we have to make with all of it is body weight still matters. And if you're going to gain large amounts of muscle, you have to offset that by being leaner. So in other words, I get people who are like, they're at 18% body fat carrying huge amounts of it. Now keep in mind, 18 or 20% body fat while carrying huge amounts of roid muscle. It's not muscle that everybody's gained just from lifting weights, okay? And when you have someone who is in the obese category at all, and they're, shredded, they're on lots of gear to be there. Okay, that is not normal. You're never going to be ultra lean in the obese category without significant drug use. And so here's the point that we have to think about with some of that too. Okay, sure, you may be leaner and you may be metabolically healthy, but there's also stress on the heart. There's other stressors that happen from the PEDs that people take. And again, we have to be aware and say, look, yeah, moderate use of these things is not the end of the world. It's not freakishly scary. It's not, there's no data that that's a super big problem. But it is still some stress on the heart. And if you were also concurrently walking around at an extremely large body weight, okay, that is a compounding factor. It's probably not going to be ideal. And lifters have to realize this. And particularly, though, the guys who are like, well, I'm natural and I'm whatever, I'm 33 BMI. Well, you're fat then. Okay, so there's no way you gained enough muscle drug-free to be walking around lean there. So let's just be honest, right? You're carrying too much fat. And we're back over to, we're still carrying a non-optimal amount of body fat while carrying a lot of body weight. All right, guys, we have to think about this. So I'm sorry, but we have to be honest and we can't ignore this. And I mean, for me, one reason I decided this is, look, I've watched a lot of my contemporaries die. I watched my mother, I'm 48 now, I watched my mother pass of cardiovascular disease at 47. My father had his first heart attack in his 30s. His father died at 55 of a heart attack. All right, come on, we can't play with this stuff. Can't play with this stuff. So we have to be looking at, yes, our diet, yes, our activity, yes, our muscle. But there comes a point where a lot of times we have to go, if we are going to carry large amounts of extra muscle, we have to be really lean, okay? Because if you're walking around at 20% body fat or 18, and a lot of guys way overestimate, I see guys that give their chest, so I think I'm 18%, and I'm looking at their height versus their weight, and I'm like, dude, you're 25, 28%. And they'll be like, well, how do you know? I'm like, I'm looking at your lifts. I mean, if you were 17% body fat at your height and weight, you'd be squatting 600-700 pounds, and they're squatting 450. It's like, no, just stop, dude. So we have this where people want to lie to themselves about it, and they're up there into that obese range but carrying too much body fat. It's a problem, you know. And even for me, Dulce called me out on that years ago. He's like, "Oh, it's still too high." And he had even said, "You need to be under 15% body fat. You need your BMI here." And, you know, I'm going to step back at this point and say, you know what? I think he was right. And I think, again, this should be a wake-up call. A lot of us should be looking at this, guys. And I get it if you're 28. All right, fine. When we're over 40, especially like me, I'm closing in on 50. I've been watching my contemporaries drop from deaths, from heart attacks. You know what? Do we really want to play this game? Oh, BMI doesn't matter. I don't think so. So in my case, I'm still, if I rip down shredded, yes, I'm still going to be in the overweight category. All right, even me at 180 pounds, that's overweight. Well, I get another 30 pounds of fat loss. Yeah, I'd be shredded to the bone, but still overweight. But we have to be, and we have to look at it that way and say, if we're going to carry that muscle, even though it's way metabolically healthier, we're still potentially creating some heart stressors. We need to be really lean, okay? We need to be really lean, and our diet needs to be really good. Our blood work needs to be good. Our LDL needs to be in range. We need good fasting glucose. All these things need to be normal. Our blood pressure needs to be normal, okay? And a lot of the guys out there who are saying, well, no, my BMI is high, but I'm reasonably lean enough. And then I'm like, well, what's your blood work look like? Their blood pressure's high. Or their LDL's out of range, and it's like, no, you're not healthy. You're not healthy. And also, if you're using enough gear that the blood pressure's up, you know, you've got to look at that and say, okay, now we're walking around with extra body weight. Your blood pressure's elevated. You're going to have that left ventricular hypertrophy. We have to think of these things before it's too late. It's why I'm addressing it now. I'm still healthy, but I've been walking around well over 200 pounds. How much longer am I going to get? What's my wiggle room? I don't want to find out. So yeah, I'm cutting. I've been doing tons of cardio. I cleaned my diet up. Get leaner, get healthier, get fitter. We cannot ignore BMI, guys. And I get it. You can still be in the overweight category and be a lifter as long as you're lean. That's fine. But we start trickling into that obese, I think that this becomes a problem. We have to address it. We have to think about it. And I'm doing so. I'm doing it that at 48. It's like, let's not wait till I'm 50. And I would say the same to a lot of you out there too. Don't wait till it's too late to address it.